The search resumes in Wayne County for a man that police say could be in imminent danger. Dustin Lair has not been seen since Memorial Day weekend.
If we do find out who they are, we will prosecute.
People are abandoning their animals outside a local shelter, and employees say it's becoming a problem.
How an easy fix could make it harder for a potential thief to break into your home.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening and welcome to WKYT. Andrea Walker and Sam Dick reporting. Amber Philpott has the night off. Police say a missing Wayne County man could be in danger.
The family of 32-year-old Dustin Lair say they have not heard from him in weeks. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more on the search in our top story at 5:30.
Dustin Lair lived on Davis Street in Monticello, but neighbors, his family, and police say no one has heard from him in weeks. His mother last received a voicemail on May 28th.
She got concerned after she wasn't able to locate him, and she came in on June 13th and reported him missing.
It wasn't unusual for the 32-year-old man to stay away, but police say there's been some developments in their investigation that has them with some new concerns.
We're starting to hear that there may have been some bad things that have happened to him at this point without going into too much detail.
Police say it's too early to tell if he was the victim of a crime, but they haven't ruled it out.
Someone knows something. Dustin was a son, a brother, a father, an uncle. I mean, we need all the help we can get.
Police say the tipsters can stay anonymous. They have received some new tips in the last few hours. Lair was a Wayne County native and known by many.
I know he played football here at Wayne County. He worked construction, from what I understand.
Police say he stands about 6 feet tall, is 175 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. He was last seen wearing a white T-shirt, blue jeans, and tennis shoes. In Wayne County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Police also say Lair has a tribal tattoo across his back between his shoulders and piercings in both ears. It's becoming quite a problem for employees at the Scott County Animal Shelter. People leaving animals on their doorstep and putting them in danger.
Sabir Rayford has more.
Employees at the shelter say they found a group of animals abandoned in the parking lot this morning. A litter of kittens were left in this cage, and they say this isn't the first time.
If we do find out who they are, we will prosecute.
It's never quiet here at the Scott County Animal Shelter. The people who work here are pretty dedicated to their jobs.
I know.
That is why Nathan Mulligan says he was pretty upset when he found out a group of cats and dogs were abandoned at the shelter last night.
They don't have to abandon them at the shelter. For one, it's illegal. And on the other, we will be happy to make arrangements if they call our emergency number. We will make arrangements with them to pick them up so they don't have to be left at the shelter.
Mulligan says abandoning animals outside can be unsafe for animals and people.
It's a safety issue for people as well as the animals because, a lot of people like to swerve when they see animals in the roadway.
The shelter says they've gotten reports of overcrowding in other shelters around the area, so they've definitely seen an increase in calls. But they want to remind people that even if you aren't a Scott County resident, they can help point you in the right direction.
The way we take care of our animals, or a lot of the ways we take care of one another, kind of reflects, it kind of goes back and forth. And this man's best friend.
Mulligan says the shelter usually only accepts animals from Scott County. In Scott County, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
The shelter wants to stress that if you come across an abandoned animal, you can always call their emergency hotline if it's not during normal business hours.
Thousands of people are expected to visit Louisville this weekend for the Kentuckiana Pride Festival. Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher announced that he will walk in the Pride Parade. And in the aftermath of the massacre at a gay nightclub in Orlando, organizers are stepping up security. Organizers are not saying exactly how many officers and private security will be working at this weekend's Pride Festival, but they'll be on high alert searching all bags before festival goers go in.
Bags, coolers, things like that. So really, if you don't need it, don't bring it because it's going to be searched before you enter the premises.
And across the bridge, city leaders are coming up with a security plan for the next first ever Jeffersonville Pride Festival. A skull found on a farm in Bourbon County earlier this year has now been identified. The skull was found in a creek on Three Farm in April. The Bourbon County coroner says the victim was Clay Reed of Lexington. Reed went missing in February of last year at the age of 54. No foul play is suspected, though a cause of death has yet to be determined.
A state park has been closed down as investigators search for an armed man. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Boone County. Deputies were called to Big Bone Lick State Park around 10 last night after reports of shots fired. Police have identified the man as 62-year-old David Rickerson of Maryland, where he was last reported missing, possibly suicidal, and armed with a gun. The search was called off last night and resumed this morning. Deputies have closed off access to the park and secured the campground, escorting several campers out. In Pulaski County, a father and son charged in a man's murder have made a plea deal. Rexel and Jesse Brown were charged for the October 2015 shooting death of Danny Poor at a Pulaski County cabin. Rexel Brown pleaded guilty to manslaughter in exchange for 15 years in prison. Jesse Brown pleaded guilty to being a felon in possession of a handgun in exchange for a 10-year sentence. The Commonwealth Journal reports the men will be formally sentenced on July 21st. In Harrison County, a woman is facing charges for bringing heroin into the state. State police say during a traffic stop, they found heroin, marijuana, and scales in the car of Kathy Callahan. Police say several months of investigation showed Callahan was driving to Cincinnati to buy heroin that she would then sell in Cynthiana. She was arrested this week and is charged with trafficking a controlled substance, importing heroin, possession of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
A Kentucky State Police trooper killed in the line of duty will be awarded the Governor's Medal of Valor. A statement from the Kentucky Justice and Public Safety Cabinet says Governor Bevin will present the award to the family of 31-year-old Cameron Ponder today during the Kentucky State Police Awards ceremony in Lexington.
Well, after several hot days here in the Bluegrass, we're getting some nice mild temperatures for the weekend.
And while we're stuck inside, somehow, some way, Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey got the assignment, the really tough assignment of being outside at a lake for a party. How'd that happen?
Guys, it's all about who you know, all right? I mean, that's pretty much it on an assignment like this. Lakeside Live, that is where we are, Lexington Green, and beautiful weather, as you mentioned. It is mild out here. Things get started at 6 o'clock. That's coming up here in just, 25 minutes or so on a beautiful Friday evening. We've got Point 7 ready to take the stage at the top of the hour of 6 o'clock, followed by the Lauren Mink Band, and the crowd continues to filter in. Folks off work, obviously, on a Friday afternoon, heading into the weekend. Hey, what a better way to start off that weekend than out here at the Lexington Green on a gorgeous Friday evening. How nice is it? Let's look outside and show you the beautiful weather throughout central and eastern Kentucky. Live Skycam showing what we have. Beautiful skies, mix of sun and some clouds. Mainly into the upper 70s across the area. And I've noticed over the past half hour, 45 minutes, a nice breeze has kicked in now as cooler air continues to filter in from the north. Temperature map across the entire area, mainly 70s throughout central and eastern Kentucky. Upper 70s at that, with a chance for a shower still in the parts of eastern Kentucky. Defender Radar Network showing a shower or two across the east, dealing with a partly cloudy sky for the rest of the area. And as we go through the evening, skies will improve, becoming partly cloudy. Overnight temperatures will drop into the low 60s. And as we look ahead, that weekend looks absolutely picture perfect. Plenty of sunshine around for our Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures mainly in the 80s. Next week, bigger changes are lurking, and we'll touch on those coming up a little later on. Back here at the Lexington Green for Lakeside Live, and that gorgeous sky you were just looking at right now here into the downtown Lexington area, just going to get better as the evening goes on. Guys, I'll try to save you a seat. If I can't, guess I'll have to do my job and come back and give you the 7-day forecast here in a little under 10 minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. Tough life you've got. Deadbolt locks can help keep criminals from kicking in a door. But what about doors that don't have a deadbolt? Well, turns out there's a cheap and easy way to strengthen the lock on a door handle. It's easy to see how crooks got inside this home. The damaged door is proof enough. Chances are good the door was missing two small things which would have made it much harder to kick in. Number 8 screws, 3 inches in length, to replace just 2 of the shorter screws that come standard in door plates like this.
We're looking at 8 cents a piece.
We heard it really could make a difference, so a test was set up with a local contractor and a set of identical twins.
We built a couple of mock doors.
In the door on the right, half-inch plate screws which come with the doorknob when you buy it.
Those screws only screw into the door frame itself.
Okay.
And the door frame is made out of a real soft wood.
In the door on the left, we added two 3-inch screws. They go through the frame and screw into the 2x4 studs.
And that'll make it a lot more solid.
Then we asked Stephen and Greg to muster up all their strength and try to kick in the doors.
Go.
So there you go. The longer screws held, and the shorter screws?
Okay, so one good kick, that's all it took.
One good solid kick.
The plate ripped from the door and the frame split.
Do you hear from people a lot that they want this done, or do you think most people don't realize that you can do this?
Most people don't realize it until after it's too late.
A simple way to stop the bad guys. All right, I'm ready to go to the hardware store and get those 8-inch screws, or 3-inch screws rather. So for less than $1 for each of those doors, you can make your home a lot safer. Simple tip.
Cleaning day is coming up for the Ohio and Kentucky rivers. That story in about 6 minutes on WKYT.
I'm Bill Bryant. Congressman Andy Barr talks to us about his support for Donald Trump. Lexington's police chief addresses security efforts at major summer events. The bottom line is on the way.
Visit our fireplace showroom or shop online at barnhillchimney.com.
Ready for summertime thrills? Kentucky Kingdom, the Thrill Park, Hurricane Bay, the Water Park. 2 great parks at one low price. Save $10 at your local Kroger. Day tickets only $39.95.
Pick up boneless pork chops for $2.99 a pound. And blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries are 3 for $5. Fresh food, low prices at Kroger.
All right, guys, we brought you to this construction trailer to talk about trucks today. Which truck brand offers engines with best-in-class V8 towing or fuel economy?
We moving? We're going. It's the answer to the question, baby. Silverado. Ooh, that's cool.
It's Truck Month. Qualified buyers get 0% financing for 60 months. Plus, find your tank and get $8,250 total value on this Silverado All-Star. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
I feel like it's important to connect with the customers because you never know what somebody might be going through. I want to make sure that I'm giving them the experience that they deserve. I'm a pharmacy technician. You have a lot of responsibility because people's health is on the line. It's just being accurate, it's being focused. It's a good pressure. Kroger has always put people first. Just whoever walks through those doors, we just try to do whatever we can to put them first and make them feel special. Treating everybody with the same, genuine care that I would want somebody to treat me with. I'm Deontay and I work at the Frankfurt East Kroger.
Who says mornings can't be happy? Not us. Introducing the DQ Hardest Working Happy Hour with drinks that work even harder than you do, blending sweet flavors like never before. Only DQ has drinks that multitask in the morning even if you can't. Like $2 premium fruit smoothies, $2 ultimate frappes, and $1 iced coffees. Every weekday morning until 10:30 a.m. at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
What we do is not about sickness. It's about living. Because you were made to live, and live well. Let us show you how care is supposed to be. Lexington Clinic, your doctors for life.
Everything grown on Jonathan Lawler's farm goes to feed those in need.
We saw a need, and we realized that, we could do something.
John Lawler here, you're our hero for helping those that can't help themselves.
Thank you.
Made in small batches using family farm fresh dairy, our concrete mixer is the hero's welcome.
Our goal is to raise 500,000 pounds of produce to distribute to food banks here in central Indiana.
Here's to the Lawlers.
At Hair-Win, we've been helping people for 125 years.
If you've been injured in a life-changing accident, we can help.
Contact us at helpingkentucky.com.
Hair-Win. Visit helpingkentucky.com.
A Kentucky congressman throws his support behind presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump.
Bill Bryant has more in today's Bottom Line.
Good evening. Republican Congressman Andy Barr, who is running for a 3rd term in Washington, is supporting Donald Trump for president, although he acknowledges he has some reservations about the billionaire businessman. Barr congratulated students at a send-off to military academies this morning, and he told WKYT News at that event he will support Trump for president.
Well, I don't agree with Donald Trump with everything he says. I don't agree with the way he says it all the time, but I'm very, very hopeful because Mr. Trump has said that he will work with us, the House Republican majority, to advance an agenda that we're developing. Unfortunately, the other presidential candidate, Hillary Clinton, has said that she will fight us on our agenda, and therefore I think that Mr. Trump is the best opportunity for us to advance an agenda that will save the country.
Barr faces Democratic nominee Nancy Jo Kemper in the November election. Lexington Police Chief Mark Barnard says there are no credible threats against the city's Pride Festival set for June 25th or other scheduled summer events, but he says the police department is being proactive to keep the community safe. The chief appeared with me today for a taping of Kentucky Newsmakers. He says his commanders have been meeting with festival organizers to talk security. He says the police department is also preparing for a busy day July 4th, when the Independence Day Parade and Festival will be downtown and fireworks will be held at Commonwealth Stadium. Also on this weekend's Kentucky Newsmakers, U.S. Senator Rand Paul discusses a range of issues, including the Orlando attack and efforts in Congress to restrict access to guns by suspected terrorists. The Republican Paul, who is running for re-election against Democratic challenger Jim Gray, also talks about federal efforts to deal with the country's heroin epidemic. Kentucky Newsmakers airs Sunday morning at 6 on WKYT. It repeats Sunday at 10 a.m. on the CW Lexington. Later on WKYT News, more on the major changes announced by Governor Matt Bevin at the University of Louisville today. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
The annual Kentucky River Sweep will be held this weekend. Volunteers will gather tomorrow to clean up the Ohio and Kentucky rivers. For the Ohio River, the event covers the entire river from its origin in Pittsburgh all the way to Cairo, Illinois. Nearly 3,000 miles of shoreline. The Kentucky River cleanup will meet at 9079 Old Richmond Road in Lexington tomorrow morning.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Hey, beautiful weather out here at the Lexington Green. It is Lakeside Live Friday night, kicking off things tonight. We've got Point 7, the Lauren Meek Band, ready to take the stage coming up at 6 o'clock this evening. That'll go through 8 o'clock as well, and folks continue to pile in out here. It is night number 1 of the summer. Every Friday, Saturday night, we are going to be right out here, and not only that, we'll be here through June, July, August, and you know what, all the way up into October. Can you believe that? Every Friday, Saturday night. Hey, at least pencil us in and come on out here at Lexington Green on Nicholasville Road. And again, we're just a few minutes from everything officially kicking off on stage. Weather-wise, wow. That's all folks are telling me out here, that they love what is going on. Look at that beautiful sky, mix of sun and some clouds right now across the entire area, and a nice breeze that is blowing some better air into central and eastern Kentucky. We look across the entire area. Those readings are into the upper 70s to around 80 into most of central and eastern Kentucky. Humidity levels continue to drop as well. That is going to give us that absolutely spectacular evening that is just now kicking off. As we look at our Defender Radar Network, we have been seeing a shower or two as expected across especially eastern Kentucky. I had one sprinkle about an hour or so ago, and that was it. Not even showing up on radar because it was literally one sprinkle. Whatever's out there eastern Kentucky, that'll go by the wayside fairly quickly over the next little bit, leaving us with better weather as that cold front makes its way farther and farther to our south. So the day tomorrow with temperatures around 60 to begin and into the 80 to 85 degree range to end under a mostly sunny sky. Absolutely picture perfect weather. As we look for the next 3 days, we will heat it up a little bit, especially by the time we hit later in the day on Monday. We can make a run at 90 degrees. That hour-by-hour forecast showing how we get there, though, with nice weather overall throughout the area, not only this evening, not just through tomorrow morning. Let's go through your Saturday afternoon. Hard-pressed to find too many clouds in the sky, 80 to 85. How about a Saturday evening out here at Lakeside Live? Things look good as well. Sunday forecast, you guessed it, it looks good. Afternoon temperatures mid to some upper 80s, and that's a nice forecast even into Monday morning with readings down into the upper 50s and low 60s. Going to do a little yard work over the next few days. We've got temperatures that will be very, very nice. By the time we roll into Monday, the chance for a 90-degree thermometer reading is certainly there across central and eastern Kentucky. Here's the forecast. Over the next week, I get even cooler. air coming your way by the middle and end of next week. All right, I get a report on even cooler air coming your way middle and end of next week. Mother Nature does all the dirty work. It could be some thunderstorms in here as we go toward the day on Tuesday with a cold front behind that. Here comes the cool down. We may say in the upper 70s, so around 80 for not 1, not 2, but maybe 3 days, middle and end of next week. Back here again at Lakeside Live with that mix of sun and clouds as the crowd continues to pile in here to the Lexington Green, just a little under 15 minutes away from Point 7 taking the stage, and then the Lauren Meek Band right after that. So good time to be had by everybody out here. Coming up 6 o'clock, we'll give you a little preview as Point 7 hits the stage. Right now, let's get a check on traffic, see how things are moving along to kick off the weekend. Here's Officer Don.
Inner loop for the Circle near Tates Creek Road. There's still a 2-car non-injury crash that police are working. One lane has been blocked. They're about to clear that one, it looks like. Nicholasville and Tiverton also clearing a collision in that area. Now back to you in the studio.
John Calipari has revolutionized recruiting in college basketball, hadn't he, Brian?
Yeah, no doubt. So much so, one basketball analyst says if he had a kid, he'd send him to UK. And we will hear from Legends catcher Chase Vallow after being hit in the face with a 93-mile-per-hour fastball. Sports is next.
CBS this Monday.
You're killing this country.
Glad to do it. If it seems like our politicians have lost their minds,
why do we have to be the party of adults?
it's because they have.
This is no way to manipulate a great democracy.
From the creators of The Good Wife.
You have a minute.
Does she have a choice? Are we living in a fascist state now?
Comes a political thriller.
Help me!
That's fun and pretty fabulous.
Get me out of here! What is going on?
A new Brain Dead. CBS Monday. Or stream it live or on demand.
Crispy, crunchy, cheesy. Papa John's new pan pizza. Loaded with cheese that bakes into a delicious crust. Get our new pan pizza with up to 3 toppings for just $10 at papajohns.com.
Hey guys, lunch is here. It's on me, fellas.
With the Chase mobile app, Stephen Curry can send money to more people in less time.
Thanks, Steph. No problem.
Even to friends at a growing number of other banks.
You ready to go? Come on, fellas, let's go.
Easy to use Chase technology for whatever you're trying to master.
You're a problem solver. Oh yeah, you love solutions. You tackle what matters and sack the rest. It's how you stay in your mom game. I get it. And it's how you fuel hungry kids. Stock the fridge with Lando Frost premium lunch meat. Taste keeps them happy, protein keeps them full. That is a win-win. And a win-win is Mommy Gold. Lando Frost, solving family lunch problems since 1958.
Yes. 2,400,053 grains of sand. Exactly 2 hours for Stick and Shake's half-price happier hour. We'll never miss half-price hand-dipped milkshakes again.
But Master, happier hours from 2 to 5 now.
Pardon me?
They added an hour.
Great, I've lost count.
Happy Hour just got happier. Get half-price shakes now from 2 to 5 at Steak and Shake.
This is how precision listens. Bose microphones that hear engine noise, then counter it with the sound-canceling frequency, which helps make the cabin so quiet, you don't miss a thing.
Night, Dad.
Good night, kiddo. It's called active noise cancellation, and it's available in the new, meticulously crafted 2016 Sierra from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade.
Now get nearly $9,000 below MSRP on select 2016 Sierra 1500 models in stock. Visit your Bluegrass GMC dealer today.
Go better, Lexington. Crispy, crunchy, cheesy. Papa John's new pan pizza. Loaded with cheese that bakes into a delicious crust. Get our new pan pizza with up to 3 toppings for just $10 at papajohns.com.
The NBA draft is next week, and John Calipari has just owned it since he arrived at Kentucky. In 6 seasons in Lexington, 25 Wildcats have been drafted, 19 in the first round. The Cats might add 3 more to that list Thursday when Jamal Murray, Scalabissiere may hear their names called very early in the first round. Tyler Eulis is now a late first rounder or second rounder. ESPN analyst Chad Ford said UK's system lends itself to developing talent.
What John Calipari does is have huge influence all season because of the way that he plays his players, the system that he runs them in, the access that he gives the NBA teams. He does help players get drafted. There's no question. If my kid was an elite prospect, I would send him to Kentucky because I think he's got the best. That would give him the best shot to go high in the draft. I mean, you look at the terrible season that Skull had, and the fact that he's going to be a lottery pick is amazing.
Former Wildcat Champ Kelly back in Lexington, and with him the annual Champ Camp for kids. Kelly, now the director of pro scouting and pro personnel with the Chicago Bears, is the host of the free football camp, which is for the kids ages 10 to 14. More than 100 kids were on hand this morning at Bryan Station High School.
Here today, these next couple of days, we want to instill the core values of Champ, which is character, heart, attitude, motivation, and pride. I mean, we do that through great on-field instruction, as you can see, and also different speakers coming and talking about just how to be successful both on and off the field.
It is one of the scariest things in baseball, being hit in the face with a pitch. That's what Legends catcher Chase Vallow endured Tuesday night. Facing West Virginia power pitcher Gage Hines, Vallow takes a 93-mile-per-hour fastball right in the face. Amazingly, nothing was broken in his face.
I don't remember getting hit. I remember walking off the field into the training room, everything after that, but whenever I got hit, I just blacked out.
Did you remember seeing the pitch at all?
No, don't remember it at all. It was raining, and the pitcher said the ball slipped, and just once it hit me, about 5 seconds after, I don't know what happened.
Unfortunately, Vallow will miss the South Atlantic All-Star League All-Star game next week at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. That's on Tuesday. That's just amazing. There is no timetable for his return. He'll have oral surgery in the coming days. You'll hear more from him in just about 25 minutes in the 6 o'clock hour. That's sports. We'll be right back.